Next, let's go over the patch notes. So of course I could go over the patch notes here, but honestly, even these patch notes don't go into detail about a lot of the different changes. So we're gonna go into Unite DB. For those that do not know, I would suggest for anyone to go to Unite DB to look up a lot of Pokemon Unite information, and some of the best stuff right here. They did a lot of good information on the patch notes that even the patch itself never really covers. So they're always very comprehensive. So to go over it, let us take a look at this. So some changes on the map itself. Central area, Selgar and Escavalier base experience decreased by 70, which is crazy. This matches the old values for Red and Blue Buff from Remote Stadium, so less experience from them, so less experience out of the jungle. Xatu experience decreased from 300 to 250. Xatu experience is static, unlike most mobs. Okay. Yeah, and that's essentially in the beginning of the game, it'll shoot you up to certain levels. Altaria Eos Energy decreased from 5 to 4. The Japanese patch notes have listed changes for Baltoy, but these are unknown at this time. Okay, that's fine. And DD Eos Energy from 6 to 5, 8 to 7 in the final stretch. And we already talked about Altaria, just basically in the top and bottom lane. So they're decreasing experience, or the Eos Energy. I don't know if I really care about, I mean, less experience in this map, but there is kind of more experience overall, more mobs, so we'll see how it is. Regice looks like it's been fixed. Regice buff now heals 5% of your max HP every 3 seconds, both in and out of combat. Essentially, it was bugged and would barely heal you at all. And so now there's actually a benefit to getting Regice. Especially if you're about to go on team fights or things about to happen. Passive healing, I think it's very valuable. Rayquaza's health has been decreased. It's hard to get exact values for HP, however, it seems to be equal to Zapdos now, which I think is a shame. I've been liking the way Rayquaza is. He's harder to kill, he has higher defenses, so it's actually been kind of equivalent, but now that they've changed it, we'll see how it feels. As far as going for Rayquaza. Because even though his health has been decreased, I wonder if his defenses are still kind of the same. So you still feel a little harder than Zapdos to kill, but Zapdos, I don't know. I wish this wasn't changed. I like the way Rayquaza was. Absol's been changed. His pursuit buff duration from 5 seconds to 3 seconds. Shadow Sneak from Aegislash has been, the damage has been lowered because that's been crazy. Like, it's crazy how Aegislash, one of Aegislash's strongest moves is literally when he starts the game. And then it goes away after a few levels. Honestly, I do like the health is low. I've been liking the way the game's been played, right? Because then it was a decision, either A, to back cap to go score on their goals, or just go for Rayquaza. Now that Rayquaza's health is lower, then it doesn't necessarily, that decision making is not as strong. Yes, granted, before, you needed to have most of your team there to actually even defeat Rayquaza. There was a few Pokemon that would be able to melt Rayquaza himself and several others that couldn't. But I like the fact that it was like that. That it's like, okay, I can't really get Rayquaza by myself. And so, should I make this conscious decision? Go back to base to heal, go back cap and score, or wait for my team to come? It was a lot of different decision making in the game. But having his health lowered lowers the amount of different decisions and the skill needed to like actually win the games. Going for Rayquaza didn't put much pressure since it took like 10 years to kill. I mean, backcapping's still worth it depending on how much they lowered it. Yeah, we shall see. Ironhead's been buffed. Increase the cooldown reduction from blocking and attacked. Let's see. Azumarill has basically got a lot of changes. Now he evolves at level 4. Play Rough, now learned at 6 and upgraded at 12. And its damage is actually being increased. Water Pulse, I learned at 6 and 12. Whirlpool 4 and 10. Aquatail 4 and 10, which is cooldown has been lowered. And Aquatail Plus, cooldown reduction on the hit, 0.5. Basically, it lowers the cooldown even more to 0.8. And Belly Bash now learned at 8. So basically, it's all. So it's almost like some of supporters and a few other attackers got it, like Glaceon has these changes. Blastoise, Water Gun, and Skull Bash. These are like when you're Squirtle, basically early game stuff. They've actually increased the damage so you can actually be comparable in the early game and not just be there. So you can actually, you know, do a little bit of damage. So I think this is a good thing. So Surface Bit cooldown has been lowered. And Alt has been lowered, so you can actually get your Alt a little quicker. Which, you know, Blastoise is a defender, so now he can actually act like a defender instead of you using all the time Water Spout, Rapid Spin. And so yeah, I think that's okay. I think that's a good change. I should ideally be happy. Medium between Rayquaza applying extra pressure and backcapping being worth it. Yeah. Buzzwole has been totally changed. Oh my lord. I didn't realize they increased his attack stat across the board. So now he does, his basic attack stats has been increased. Except for like the last level. I mean, it's diminished as it goes up higher. Mega Punch, more damage. Like everything about Buzzwole has been changed. Oh my lord. Buzzwole may actually be really good now. Like every move has been upgraded. Now treats hindrance resistance targets as unstoppable. Okay. Now treats hindrance resistance targets as unstoppable. Superpower, leech life. Okay. Charizard. They lowered the cooldown on Fire Punch Plus. Cooldown reduction on hit. The cooldown comes up every 2 autos, assuming no CDR. Okay, okay. Seismic Slam, the alt. Now grants hindrance resistance instead of unstoppable. Can no longer be used on hindrance resistance targets. Oh, okay. So a little nerf, but honestly, I don't know. Charizard's alt's still really strong. Like it's actually like of the tier list of strong alts, his is up there. And it's crazy. Like Charizard can basically change a team fight from the alt alone. Cramorant. And that's why Charizard Jungle is actually really good. Because Charizard Jungle gets his alt quicker, and then you kind of get into doing your alt and just changing the tide of battle, even in the early game. Cramorant's been nerfed. Aegislash Plus. The damage has been lowered. Gengar's Hex range decrease. Icy Wind on Glaceon. Cooldown's been increased to 0.5. Okay. I mean, to be honest, I'm surprised that's the only change for Glaceon, and that there hasn't been like other ones on top of it. Just Icy Wind. Greedent Bullet Seed. Fix the bug that caused Bullet Seed to not function while slowed. Yes. I don't even think a lot of people knew about this bug. Because I still, off chance that you saw Greedents, I still saw Greedents doing Bullet Seed. And I'm like, you do realize that's bugged. And now it's been fixed. So, the few Greedent mains that are out there, one, I hate you, because Greedent sucks. And two, no, he's just annoying. And two, there, be happy. Mew boosted attack, damage per threshold has been lowered. So basically it shouldn't hit as hard, but I don't know. I don't know if that's the only thing that should have been changed with Mew. Fix a bug where the dash would not properly cross some walls. I think I experienced this when I did, I haven't played a lot of Mew, personally, but I remember trying to dash through some stuff, and I was like, wait, what? Walls that should be dashed across. Alright, now Mr. Mime, one of the main culprits. Damage per pulse lowered. And the final damage per pulse, look at those ratios per level. Base damage, look at this. Base damage from 240 to 170. That's crazy. That's good. Greedent players are bad people. Power swap. It's slow is from 15% to now down to 8%. Almost essentially cut in half. Damage per tick, lowered. And Power Swap Plus now properly works with Confusion. I didn't know there was an issue with there, but okay. Slowbro. Slowbro Water Gun, kind of early game. So they buffed another Defender's early game. Essentially, long story short, it does more damage, the Water Gun. And Surf. Its cooldown has been lowered. Telekinesis cooldown has been lowered. So essentially, some of the defender moves, because Amnesia just gives you health. So it was always Amnesia, Scald was kind of the build right now. But Surf is actually pretty annoying. But now, 1 second, hey, I think that's okay. And his ult has actually been quickened. Sylveon, fix a bug that caused Eevee to deal special damage with his basic attacks. Interesting. So Sylveon's Eevee was bugged. I didn't even know that. Tsareena, fix a bug that caused Tsareena to be permanently slowed by speed flux zones under certain circumstances. I think I experienced this, because a few times when I was playing Tsareena, I'm like, why am I slowed? Like, I would just kind of, I remember one time I was walking out of a bush or something, and I'm like, why am I slowed? Nothing's hit me. I figured it was like some type of, I don't know. Since this game has issues with invisible attacks, if you get attacked from the bush from a distance, I figured I got hit by something or something. I'm like, okay, whatever. Queen Ascendants can no longer be used on hindrance resistance targets. Basically the alt. I don't even know if it's possible to even hit people while they're hindrance resistant. Because I guess they had to be unstoppable. But still, it's like, okay. Tyranitar unknown auto attack related bug fix. And Wigglytuff pound early game. Damage. Okay, a little bit of increase. Dazzling Gleam cooldown has been lowered to 4 seconds, which I still believe Dazzling Gleam is the best move, better than Double Slap. Because it attacks twice very quickly. There's like an initial attack and then like a final attack, but they happen so quick it looks like it's only one attack out of Dazzling Gleam. And its alt is you can use it sooner, which is actually a big W for Wigglytuff, because playing Wiggly, like you could only alt like only a couple of times, and you had to balance when to alt, because it'll take forever for you to get it. So yeah, I think that's great. Overall, patch notes, I think it's good. I think they could have nerfed Glaceon, Mew a little harder. Even Gengar, they could have nerfed a little harder, but Buzzwole, all these changes to Buzzwole are crazy. I wonder how that's going to look. He might actually be like he might actually be a threat, because Buzzwole has always been fun, but now that he's got these buffs, I'm a little scared. Just a little scared. Early game damage, on top of the fact he lifesteals on, oh man. Might be an issue. We shall see.
This ain't what you want, bitch, I'm a fucking phenomenon.